Welcome to class. I'm Kim, and we have our special guest today, Juliet. Um, Basic class today, meaning basic asana postures, just to feel really good in the body. And if you would like a block, we will be doing extended side angle, so sometimes a block is nice for that, but you're welcome to skip it. Let's start today in standing at the top of our mats. So feet can be together, or they can be a little apart underneath of the hips. Go ahead and ground down into the feet. So lift and spread all the toes, lift the arches, and let the ball of the big toe, the base of the pinky, and the heel grow roots down into the earth. Leave that engagement as we sprinkle the toes down. Lift up through the inner legs. Lift up through the low belly. Lift up through the back of the head and let the arms just float. You're welcome to close your eyes. Become aware of the breath. Notice it on the nostrils. Maybe you allow the body to sway just slightly with the breath. And then all together, let's take a big inhale and a big exhale out either the nose or the mouth. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. If you close the eyes, let them flutter open. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, reach tall, and then exhale, you're welcome to bend the knees as you fold forward here. Ground through the feet still. Inhale, halfway up, long spine. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot back, lower the knee. Plant the right hand, and then inhale the left arm up for a little twist here. Plug the left shoulder into the back body. Square the hips, plug into the legs and core. Keep the shape, pluck up the upper body for a little upright twist, and you can stay here, or you can reach the left hand back, the right arm up overhead for a little back bend. And then a closed twist, bend the right elbow, cut it outside of the thigh, ring out through the spine, re-square out the hips. Keep the connection of the right elbow to the thigh, free up the left arm, and just sort of move around, circle around through the shoulder. Trying out both directions. And then untwist from here. Keep the lunge, keep the torso low. Reach the arms long, biceps by ears. Plug into the core, knit the ribs in. Within this, extend the left leg. You're welcome to pluck up the left toe, shine the sit bones back. Standing splits. Bend the left knee, hands to the earth. Pluck up the right leg. You can open the hips a little bit as you bow the upper body down. Balance. Lift up part way. Take your time. Roll your way up to balancing on the left foot. And when you get there, floating tree. So open through the knee. Let the right foot just hover. Plug into the core. Lengthen the tailbone down. And then simply set the right foot next to the left, other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees as much as you'd like. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot back, lower the knee. Left hand is down. Pluck the right arm up for that little twist. Plug the right shoulder blade into the back body. Level, square the hips, find the legs, and then lift the torso up, upright twist. You may stay here or take a little back bend, reaching the left arm up, right arm back. Bend the left elbow, bring it outside of the left thigh. Maybe hands at prayer to start as we wring out the spine. Pull the right hip back in space. And then keeping the connection of the left elbow to the thigh, free up the right arm and just move through that shoulder a little bit. Taking some circles. Both directions if you haven't. Keep the leg shape. untwist, keep the torso low, reach the arms long overhead, plug into the core, and then extend the right leg, option to plug up the toes, plug into the core, shine the sit bones back, knit the ribs in. Standing splits, bend the right knee, hands down, plug up the left leg, and you can open through the hips here as you bow the upper body. Balance. So lift up partway, find something steady to look at, grow roots through the right leg, strong through the whole right leg as we lift up, and when you're ready, open into that floating tree. So floating tree means the left toes can just sort of float as the hips open. Step the left foot next to the right. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Let's find our way to a seat and then to low boat. So however you would like to do that, however it works in your body, get the tush on the earth. Lower down, low back on the earth, pluck up the legs, tuck the chin, sink the heart down. Arms can reach anywhere, doesn't really matter. And then just sort of flutter, scissor the legs, so crisscross. As we do this, really think about hollowing the low belly. Instead of letting it bulge up, think about letting it sink down. And as that happens, let the heart sink down so that we actually free up the neck and the traps a little bit. Just another moment here. And then lower all the way onto the back. Pluck up the legs so the feet stack over the hips. Even if the knees are bent, that's fine. Head, neck, and shoulders can be on the earth. Again, arms can go anywhere. What we'll think about is scooping up the tailbone so that we lift the feet higher towards the ceiling. So sink the core down towards the spine and then pluck up the tailbone straight up, lower it down, pluck it up, lower it down, pluck it up, lower it down. Keep going, pluck, lower. Think about not only tapping into that really deep low core, pluck it up, lower it down, but also the pelvic floor. Let it lift as you lift and release as you let it sink back down. Two more. Pluck it up, lower it down, pluck it up, lower it down. Just a breath here. We'll do one more round. So you can either leave the legs as is or pluck up head, neck, and shoulders, reach the hand towards the feet, sink the heart down, and then again, pluck up the tailbone, set it down. Pluck it up, 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 set it down. Three more, pluck it up, set it down. Ease in the shoulders, pluck it up, set it down. Last one, pluck it up, set it down. Release. You can go long on the back or you can give the legs a little hug, whatever feels good in your body. Let's rock and roll through a C all the way into high plank. So you can sort of rock back on the spine and then roll up, cross the ankles, plant the hands, step, step back, high plank. Now you're welcome to angle the fingers out a little bit if it helps you wrap the eyes of the elbows forward. Lift up through the back of the heart. Let the core work, let the legs work. Stabilize. And see if, with as little as shifting of the torso as possible, so if you want to take the feet wider, you can. See if you can pluck up the right arm and tap the left shoulder. Set that hand down. Pluck up the left arm, tap the right shoulder. Set it down. Right taps left. Set it down. Left taps right. Set it down. Right taps left. Set it down. Left taps right. One more each side. Set it down. Right taps left. Set it down. Left taps right. Good. From here, lower knees, lower chest and chin. Tush can be high. Inhale, baby cobra. Open through the heart, tops of the feet on the ground. Let's take an extra breath here. Downward facing dog. This is the first time we've landed in dog in this class, so take a little time. Shift the hips around, pedal out the legs. And then find some stillness. Again, wrapping the eyes of the elbows forward, lifting up out of the armpits, setting the sit bones up and back, even if you have to bend the knees to do so. Let's make our way back up to the top of the mat. So you're welcome to walk or to float. Either way, come up high on the toes, deep bend in the knees, gaze forward. And then exhale, walk or float your way up to the top of the mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, bow. Inhale, sweep up to standing. Exhale, straight back down, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. And then exhale, hands down, step the right foot back. Option to leave the knee lifted this time for this low lunge. Right hand is down, pluck the left arm up for a little low twisted lunge. Plug into the right leg and the core. Come up on the right fingertips first. Plug in a little bit more, deep bend in the left knee if it'll let you, and then lift up that torso for that upright twist. If your body would like to bring a bend into the right knee, it's welcome to. You can stay here, or again, you can reverse, take that little back bend. Close twist, right elbow outside of the left thigh. Hands can go at prayer. Leveling the hips to ring out through the spine. Keep the torso low. Untwist, plug into the right leg as we extend the arms overhead. Fire through the legs, fire through the core. Just breathe here. Standing splits. Hands down, pluck up the right leg, bow the upper body. You're welcome to open the hips. And then warrior two, bend the left knee, big control, step back, take up a bunch of your mat, and open up into warrior two. So take a second, check in with the feet, left toes forward, left knee nice and bent. Right toes follow the right hip point so they can angle in a little bit. Plug in, lift pelvic floor and low core to lengthen the tailbone down, and just let the arms sort of float. Reverse if it feels good, reach up and back. And then take the length with you into extended side angle. So we'll start on the thigh, and then we're welcome to get the block involved. Reach, and you can put left forearm on thigh, reach the right arm long. Now, if you would like this block on the inside or outside of the left foot for the hand to go onto, you can. Again, plug into the right leg. Wrap all the muscles to the bone. Lengthen the tailbone down. Press the hips slightly forward. And use that stable base to open a bit more through the upper body. And then from here, find a few shoulder circles or anything that feels good. You can cactus the arm. Lizard pose. Square off to the top of the mat, spiral onto the back toes. Heel toe the left foot out. You're welcome to lower the back knee down from here. You can be on the fingertips. Left toes and left knee in theory face forward. If the knee really wants to wing out, just let the toes follow. And then an option for a few lizard push-ups here. So again, back knee could be up or it could be down. Wrap the eyes, the elbows forward. Lower and push up. Lower, push up. Lower, push up. Lower, push up. Lower, push up. This time we'll lower to hold. Breathing into the left hip. If it feels better to walk the arms long or wide, you could try that. Some of you may end up on the forearms. And then walk the hands back under the shoulders, extend the arms, pluck up the back knee if you haven't, side plank on the right. So pluck up the left leg, slice it around, spill the weight into the right hand, use the right side body, use the core to lift up. From here, high plank. Right hand taps left shoulder. Set it down, left taps right. Set it down, right taps left. Set it down, left taps right. Set it down, right taps left. Set it down, left taps right. Set it down, lower either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, open up, and then exhale, downward facing dog. One full breath. Lower the knees down to the earth. Untuck the toes, sit back on the heels. If there's a different seat that feels more comfortable, that's fine. From here, take the forearms behind the body. So you can grab opposite elbows if that feels good. Retract the shoulders, so slide them towards each other. And then even as you do that, knit the ribs in and plug into the core. So we get a nice stretch on the front of the pecs. Now, yogi's choice, you may stay here, or you can bend the elbows a little bit more and start to walk the hands higher up the spine. But the most important thing here is going to be plugging those shoulder blades back, as well as knitting the ribs in. So it's not a back bend, it's an opening through the pecs. So just work within that context. Drop the left ear over to the left shoulder, and then you're welcome to angle the chin up towards the right a bit. Other side. Lift the head through center, drop the right ear over to the right shoulder, and you're welcome to angle the chin up a bit. And then lift through center, just gently unfurl, release the arms. This can be a little intense. If you need a couple little wrist circles, you can take them. Downward facing dog. Reach the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift the sit bones up and back. Come up high on the toes, deep bend in the knees. Exhale, walk or float your way up to the top of the mat. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift to standing, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, hands down, step the left foot back. You can leave the knee up here. Lift the right arm up for that little twist. Now really plug into the left leg. Pull the right hip back. Use the core and go ahead and tent the left fingertips. Plug into the base a little bit more so the torso gets lighter and lighter. And then lift it up off of the earth. If it feels good to bring a little bend into the left knee, you can. You may stay upright, or you can reverse, reaching right arm back and then left arm up overhead. Bend the left elbow, bring it outside of the thigh, hands at prayer, really level the hips as we wring out the spine. Keep low, keep the legs, unfurl, really plug in all the way into the left heel as we extend the arms overhead. So alongside the ears, in this context, it'll be forward. So we reach forward through the hands, back through the heel, and we plug into the whole core, and we let the legs work, especially the right leg. Just breathing. Standing splits. Hands down, spring off the left leg. Lift it up, open the hips, bow down. Warrior two, big controlled step back. Take up a lot of your mat and then open lift through the upper body. Right toes, right knee forward. Left toes simply follow the hip point. Pull a deep bend into the right knee. Plug into the core and the pelvic floor to lengthen the tailbone down and let the arms float forward and back. Keep that openness in the right hip, so that pulling of the right knee towards the right and the deep bend as we reverse, reach the right arm up and back, and then extended side angle. Come through center, reach long, 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 bend the right forearm, set on the thigh, reach the left arm towards the top of the mat. Now you may stay here, or if you want to get that block involved, it can go inside or outside of the right foot on any setting. Grow roots through the left foot. So heel, ball of the toe, engage the arch, fire the whole leg, allow that to plug into the pelvic floor and the core, lengthening the tailbone down and getting a little extra space and maybe stability for the upper body to open. Any movements you want with the left arm and shoulder that feel good, circles, cactusing, there's really not a wrong here. lizard pose. Come on the back toes, square off, heel toe this right foot down. You can lower the left knee if you would like. And again, right toes and knee face forward with that knee into the tricep. But if that isn't working in your body and the knee wants to wing out, the toes just angle out too. Wrap the eyes, the elbows forward. You can go left knee up or down. Let's take just 5 of those push-ups. So lower, elbows straight back, the upper body lowers, push back up. Lower down, push back up. Lower down, push back up. Lower down, push back up. Was that 4 or 5? Lower down, push back up. Lower down to hold. So you might end up on the forearms. You might choose to walk the arms some other way. You can do whatever it feels right with the back knee. Breathing space all around the hip, all around the low back. And then walking the hands back under the shoulders, extending the elbows, plug in, pluck up the right leg, side plank on the left. So spill the way into the left hand, arm, and use the side body and core to lift up out of the shoulder. High plank. This time, left hand taps right shoulder. Set it down, right taps left. Set it down, really plug into legs, left taps right. Set it down, plug into core, right taps left. Set it down, lower the knees. One more time, come back to sit on the shins here. Bring the arms at the back body, so bend the elbows. And again, they can stay low here. Retract shoulders, knit ribs in, plug into core, lengthen up through the back of the head. If you chose to walk the hands up higher, you can do that again. If you would like, you can work towards reverse prayer. In theory, the palms meet all the way, but I don't care if that happens in your body. We want to keep those shoulder blades plugged in. So maybe it's just the pinkies meeting each other. And that's as far as the body gets while still plugging the shoulders in and integrating the ribs in. And maybe it doesn't make it that far. Maybe you leave the back of the hands on the body, or maybe you can go a little further. Whatever happens in your anatomy, breathe into it. Breathe space into the pecs, into the collarbones, into the forearms. If you would like any head movements, you can take them. And then gently unfurl this. It can get a little intense if you went all the way into reverse prayer. So take your time unfurling, maybe a little bit of wrist rolls, and downward facing dog. Plant the hands, pluck up and back. Really lift up out of the armpits, shine the sit bones up and back. We'll step our way straight into warrior 2. Inhale, pluck up the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot between the hands. And then inhale, warrior 2. Set the feet, set the legs. Check in with the pelvis and the hips. Reverse if it feels good. And then extended side angle. Reach long, keep that bend. And then if you want a block or if you want a forearm on a thigh, take it. Plug into the right leg, lengthen the tailbone down. And then option for the half bind or even the full bind. I'll just demo a half bind. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Rotate the palm till it faces behind you. And then reach that hand towards the back foot, bending the elbow so the back of the hand goes on the back body. And it can land anywhere on the back body. Traditionally, people try to grab the hip point. That's fine. It can just hang out there. Or you can refer back to where we just were, bending the elbow a little bit more, walking the hand up the spine. No matter what happens, plug the right shoulder into the back and knit the ribs in and rotate the heart up. keep that really full bend in the left knee, solid in the foot. Fire the left glute. Keep that length through the tailbone. Now, holding all of this, simply extend the left leg. So if you've got weight on the thigh, you'll have to lift that arm up. Extend the left leg, and it's okay if there's a little bend. Shift the hips back. You can use the left hand to push them back a little bit. And find a Trikonasana for a moment. And then soften, rebend the left knee. Unfurl the arms, spin back to the top of the mat. Come up on the right toes, heel toe the left foot out. Little different lizard. Lower the back knee down and then extend the left leg. So shift the hips back. You can pluck up the toes or not. And simply bow. You can kind of release the upper body. As long as we maintain a little integrity in the core and shine the sit bones back. Rebend the left knee, plant the hands through a side plank and back to dog. Pluck up the right leg, side plank on the right, high plank. An option to vinyasa or to go straight to downward facing dog. Last little bit of effort. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Inhale, warrior two. Check in with the feet. Check in with the legs, the pelvis. Inhale, reverse. Get some length in the right side body. And then reach forward, extended side angle. So reach long, long, long. Remember, you've got a forearm, you've got blocks, you've got the earth. Plug into the left leg in order to lengthen the tailbone down. And then if it feels good, reach the left arm up. Rotate the palm to face behind you and then rotate all the way until we bend the elbow and find that nice little half bind. If you want a full bind, you can grab that. Right arm would thread under the leg. Keep the right leg working. Keep as deep of a bend as you can. Fire the glute. Keep the left leg working. And then retract the left shoulder. See if you can plug it in a little more to the back body. And hold that as you knit the left ribs in a little bit more. And lengthen up through the crown of the head. We breathe. So we get this openness in the body, but we get it through the work, as well as through the breath. Hold the upper body somewhat as it is. Get light on the right leg if you're wearing weight on it. And then that Trikonasana variation. Extend the right leg. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way. Shift the hips back. Lengthen the right side body long. Still lengthening the tailbone. Letting the head float somewhere that's comfortable. And then rebend the left knee, gently unfurl the arm. That little lizard, spin to the top of the mat, come up on the left toes. Heel toe the right foot out, lower the back knee. Lizard half splits. Shift the legs back. Right toes can be up or down, but we'll extend the leg. And just melt. You can use your block if it's nearby. Check in and think about shifting the hips on center. They'll often shift off to one side. So square them a little bit, plug into the core. Again, send the sit bones back and then sort of really melt the upper body. Lift up out of this, plant the left hand, bend the right knee, side plank on the left, pluck up the right leg, find your way there. And then high plank. Lower all the way onto the belly here. Just one round of locust. Untuck the toes, press the pubic bone down into the earth, Start by pressing the tops of the feet down into the earth so the kneecaps lift and the thighs lift. Simply lift the upper body, and you can reach the arms behind you, palms down. Retract the shoulders so that the pinkies come a little closer towards each other. Press the pubic bone down more, and now float the legs up as well. And it's okay if the feet go a little bit wide if that feels better for the low back. Maybe a little tuck in the chin so we get length through the back of the neck, but squeeze the shoulders together a bit more. Just another moment here. And then release back down, child's pose. Plant the hands, push up and back to a little child's pose. Work towards getting a connection of the sit bones to the heels, even if that means that you have to lift the head up higher or the torso higher. So we encourage this soft C curve of the spine. You can let the elbows release. Breathe space into the whole back body. Little extra focus on the exhales here. To get out of this, shift some more weight into the shins and roll your way up so we're seated on the shins. We'll just close out with a little twist. So shift the hips off to the side, send the legs out in front of you. Seated twist or supine twist? Let's go with a supine twist. If you'd like a seated twist, totally fabulous. Otherwise, grab the backs of the thighs and just roll your way onto the back body. Plug up the knees, bend them into the chest. If you want to give them a little squeeze for a second, you can. And then shift the hips over to the right. Let the knees drop over towards the left. Arms can honestly do whatever you would like. And gaze can do whatever you would like. But for a moment, see if you can get a little closer connection of the right shoulder blade with the earth. So finagle around, maybe bear some weight in the left upper arm to pluck up both shoulders and drag that twist a little deeper. Then release into this. Maybe close the eyes again. Become aware of whatever's touching the ground. Just notice the sensation of the side of the leg, the hip, the side body on the ground. And then plugging into the core in order to pluck the legs back up, shift the hips to center, and then shift them over to the left, knees drop to the right. Again, any variation, but do try to get that left shoulder blade a little closer to the earth so you can lift up the shoulders by bearing weight into the right other upper arm, slide them over, and then release back down. Maybe closing the eyes. Feeling the texture, the temperature of the ground on the body. And from here, we'll simply find Savasana. When you're ready, unfurl. Use the core to pluck the legs up. If your body needs a little something, little hug or happy baby or anything, go for it. And then unfurl. You can let the legs go wide, lengthen the tailbone a little bit. The arms can go wide, palms up. They can go on the body, palms down. Notice the sensation of the shoulder blades laying flat on the earth. Notice what part of the low back or the pelvis is in connection with the ground. And allow yourself this time here. Know that this time of stillness is just as valuable as all the movement we took. I would encourage you to spend at least a couple of minutes here just watching the breath, feeling safe in your own stillness. As always, it's an honor to teach. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Juliet, for your efforts. Peace for the body, peace for the mind, and peace for the spirit.